Watch me ride.
Hey everybody, so what a lovely day. I've got a couple of errands to run this morning and I thought I'd just have a little sort of talk about a couple of things. But before I get on to that, I've just discovered something about DIVI. So if you remember going back, I had a video about, you know, the problems with the DIVI and the dash going and stuff. I haven't had any problems with it since, until this morning when I just noticed something, and I think it's going to help diagnose the issue. Okay, so here is the dash, everything seems all and well. Let's do an indication. Why is the high beam flashing? Oh, let's put the high beams on. Why is that light come on? What happens when you indicate? Oh, I guess more power. Something there is crossing over. I did fiddle with one connector yesterday, so let's see if it makes a difference. Yep. Yep, so it's one of these... It's one of these two connectors, that one there. Can we see this? Problem? No problem. Right on. No, well, that, right, okay, and that's not supposed to come on with high beam. No, there we go. No. Right, so basically there is some form of a connection issue going on with that connector, so I just need to take it apart and clean it. But do you see that? I put it in gear and everything turned off. So yeah, I think I've got a grubby connector, something's crossing over with something else. So I'll have to, well, after this ride, I have to take half of the front end off of this probably and have a clean out and see what I can do. So it was nothing to do with the battery, and I had about 10 messages from people saying it's definitely this. Yeah, it's definitely this. I'm telling you now, you need to order this part, do this. It's definitely this. It was none of those things, quite clearly. That's why it's really difficult when people start trying to diagnose stuff on over the internet. It's like you don't know how much knowledge they really have. Are they just saying this because on one of their bikes in the past this happened, so they're just assuming it's the same thing? You know, there's many ways to skin a cat. In the same way, there's many ways to fuck up a dash. But I do appreciate the help that people offered. Anyway, so today I have an important parcel that I have to deliver. It's going off to the great lands of the US's of A's, and it's my last clock that I've got in stock at the moment, the swiveling stand one. So I was going to talk about sort of, you know, is the Clockworks business working? Is it successful? Not that anything can be really classed successful this earlier on. It's going well, that's what I'll say. You know, I've sold 9 or 10 items now. And I've definitely, you know, sort of found the level that I want to make things to, and I've found my pricing structure and all that stuff. I do think this is something I'm going to continue doing for the foreseeable future and see where it takes me. However, for this to be profitable enough to be something I do full time, I need to get into some bigger works selling at higher prices, and that's the problem without a workshop. And obviously you don't get workshops without having higher prices of things. You see what I mean? It's a catch-22. So that is where there is a small problem as far as longevity goes. But if I can secure a supply of sprockets and stuff, then I can keep cranking out the more middle ground priced. Jesus fucking Christ, go on. Middle ground priced items that were. What the fuck was that? Old people driving, seriously. Where was I? Yeah, if I can secure a good supply of sprockets and if I can keep cranking out the middle price things, that could end up making me some reasonable money. Maybe. No worries. Oh. She's still trying to park. No worries. Where the hell was I? I had a point I was going to try and get to. I don't know. I'll try and remember it while I'm sending off this parcel. Back in a second. Oh man, delivery costs are a killer. So that one went outside the UK, and it makes it vastly more expensive to send them. And I actually, when I do the pricing for international stuff, I undercharge slightly on the shipping. And take a little bit of the hit myself, just because it's just so high and it seems unreasonable, but you know, it is what it is. So, you know, that one I've just sent out, I've lost a few quid from what I've paid what I charged for it. Fuck's sake! It's not even raining, fuck it. Put this dry suit on because it was raining and it stopped the second I friggin' left. Anyway, need fuel. But basically I need to secure a supply of sprockets and discs, and if I can make the middle ground stuff, then I can make more money long term. But of course it's still early days and I'm actually still just trying to cover setup costs because I had to buy quite a lot of stuff, and man, I did a lot of research into this. I really thought about what I did and didn't need and be very smart with my purchasing and stuff. And the list of things that I went through at the beginning, I was like, I need this, this and this, and I can do this. It's just got longer and longer because it's like, oh no, actually I could do with this tool, I could do with that sort of sandpaper and stuff. I mean, like today, I have a printer arriving. I haven't had a printer in years, and the problem is I need one because when I order stuff from Amazon for, you know, for sandpapers and tools and that sort of stuff, and believe me, I know a lot of people go, you shouldn't buy it from blah, 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 blah. It's so much cheaper than the other places that I've looked. They don't always give you invoices, and I need the receipts. So now I needed a printer, and it was like, alright, okay, buy a printer. Thankfully printers aren't as expensive as they used to be. And I've gone and bought, I've done the smart decision, and I bought a laser printer because, you know, toner lasts longer, it's cheaper, etc. Fucking inkjets are bullshit. So, basic toner printer, 40 quid, bish bash bosh. Can I get fuel still? In theory I should be able to get fuel still, but they appear to have blocked everything off, so maybe I won't. I was right to go up. That's right. So yeah, basically things cost a lot more than I was expecting them to because I needed more equipment than I thought I was going to need to. Some of it I should have thought about, some of it I didn't see coming, so whatever. It is what it is. But I've been able to cover that. I don't think I'm in sort of, if you actually looked at the books of the thing, I don't think I'm in profit just yet, but the next few clocks that I start making should start making me some money, I would have thought. But I also had the massive and most appreciated help of some people who, you know, sent me a few quid via PayPal to help with the setup costs. Without you guys, I definitely wouldn't have been able to get all the equipment I needed this quickly. So, thank you. PoBox deliveries, donations of sprockets and stuff. It's been pretty dry. I've had a few things come my way, and I'm very appreciative of those. So yes, I'm going to continue doing it, and I'm going to hopefully go from strength to strength to strength and start. I'm going to still make the cheap stuff that will keep things ticking over, but I might have to look into doing some bigger, more what should we say, more advanced stuff. That is going to be inherently more expensive, but if it doesn't sell, it can just sell in the store, and if not, I'll keep it. I'm sure I'll bloody love it. It's hard to sell the things that make them like, that's awesome! Oh! But then I'm like, oh thanks, money, I need that. But what it does mean is that I am still my own boss. I am not a chef, I'm not working for anyone else. I choose the times that I work. I choose when I do and don't do things. Now that's good and that's bad because this is the universal problem, well not problem, but the universal thing of being self-employed. People think, or some people seem to think, that being self-employed means you get to, you know, take the day off here and there, do what you want, blah blah blah, you know, you're your own boss. No, you have to work so much harder. So much harder. Like my working day is I get up between 6 and 9 normally, I'm up, depending on how late the night before was. And I'll work throughout the day, I'll take an hour for lunch, I'll continue working until 5 o'clock in the evening, 8 o'clock in the evening when Reno comes home. I spend a few hours with her, she goes off to bed and goes to sleep, and I then go and continue doing work, normally like paperwork, making templates, you know, quiet stuff that I can do during the night and not wake up the entire house full of people. You know, so it's a lot of work. Would I have more time if I just went off and did some other job? Yeah, and I'd probably be making a lot more money, and I wouldn't be having to do all the self-employed stuff, and blah, 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 blah. I could just be paid, and, you know, my tax gets paid, and I don't have to worry about keeping money for that, and all, you know. But would I want to do that? Hell no, I love doing what I'm doing now. It would be awesome if YouTube could take off a little bit more, but I'm not going to pretend that that's going to happen, because the more that I have to do for the clockwork stuff, the more that it's going to affect YouTube. I'm still making videos and not changing that, and I still try and make as much content as I can, but it does mean that my my availability is a lot lower. You know, I have stuff I have to get done. On YouTube these days, you have to put so much effort into production value and the content you produce to actually gain any ground. And as I've been on the YouTube for 6 years. I've done reasonably well, but in the big terms of things, who was talking about this? Downshift was only recently talking about this in a video, saying about how he's got 100,000 subscribers and how in the past 10,000 subscribers was like, wow. And I remember those days, dude. But you know, nowadays 100,000 subscribers, whatever. People can do that in a couple of months, it seems, if they get the right formula. Crazy enough, fake enough, or something like that. So I don't expect YouTube to take off in any great way. Yeah, that was what I was saying earlier about sacrifices. A couple of things I have had to sort of sacrifice away from because of costs and because of time and because of, well, some political sort of, I just can't be arsed with the bullshittery of the commercial side of it. I've had to turn down a few sort of invites I've had from big companies, like, you know, I mentioned a while ago there was a Suzuki weekend that I was invited to. I didn't go on that because I had stuff to do and it would have cost me money. Yeah, they cover most of your costs, but I still have to get up and down the country. I was recently invited to some Triumph launch lunch dinner thing. I've turned that down as well because, well, it's just going to be marketing wank about how great their bike is. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying anything against the bikes here, but I'm saying, like, what I'm saying is that every company is going to say that their bike's the best bike in the world, and that's that, you know, and that's the way that it's going to, that these sorts of things work. So I have sacrificed things that probably, you know, I could have gone to these things and been at the dinners and done video and Instagram posts and stuff, and oh, look where I am, I'm being taken seriously now and all of this. But frankly, I just don't care enough. I love reviewing bikes and I will continue doing that, but I like being able to just take the bike on my own, on the road, and tell you what I think about it. You know, what other opinion are you going to get from one of these things other than, oh, my bike's the best thing in the world? I'm not saying you take that opinion on, but it's all you're going to get given to you, and it's just, you know, they control the way you ride and the things that you do, and yeah, it's just like, I'm not looking to get into that side of the bike industry. It's too, I've peeped through the keyhole into that side of things and seen some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and some of the bullshit that's involved with it. I'm just like, nah. You know, as I say, I'm still going to review bikes, but it'll be on my terms, not anyone else's. And that is actually a very refreshing thing, you know. I not that I ever saw YouTube as being something I was going to, you know, really succeed at. I mean, I hope that it could happen, but I never sort of betted on it. Anyway, a lot of waffling, but that's kind of where I am mentally at the moment. Feeling good, feeling hopeful, but need to work hard. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll catch you next time.